Hello everyone, my name is K. Rajesh. I am from CSCC section. Today's my topic is about integrated true time delay based ultra wideband array processing. Introduction. Why antenna arrays? Antenna arrays have been used for over half a century in various military communications and radar applications. There is a recent surge of interest in using antenna arrays for commercial wireless applications. Broadly speaking, there are two categories of antenna arrays, those used for beamforming and those used for spatial diversity. In the first type, also referred to as phased arrays in narrowband systems, a linear simulation of complex weighted signals is formed to create an appropriate beam of enabled spatial selectivity. Complex weighted signals in the radio frequency (RF) domain and are achieved by changing the gain and phase of each path channel that follows an antenna element. The shape of the beam and the directions of its main lobes depends on the amplitude and phase settings, and both are electrically controlled. Phase arrays are mostly used to create a line of sight (LOS) between the transmitter and desired receivers. Phase array transmitters limit their emission to targeted spatial angle and hence create less interference at other directions. Phased array receivers in principle reject interference signal to unwanted directions. In phased array receivers, the SNR is improved due to using multiple independent receiving elements with uncorrelated noises. In phased array transmitters, power is combined in space, and as such the usually sh- stringent output power requirement per power amplifier (PA) is relaxed. The afore- aforementioned benefits require justification for the given application as the footprint and power consumption are inevitably increased in a phased array compared to single signal antenna transmitters. True time delay based array processing. In any receiving antenna arrays, signals will reach different antennas at different times, which depends on the spacing between the antennas and angle of incidence. This time delay can be compensated for the receivers and align and coherently combine signals from certain directions. Therefore, the receiver will enhance the signal level of certain directions as determined by delay settings. In narrowband array, the received signal time delay can be approximated with phase shift. Hence, the term phased array is often used. However, no such approximation can be made when the instantaneous signal bandwidth is very large. Thus, the term timed array is more appropriate. In phased arrays, variable gain amplifiers can be used in each path to cancel the out of phase signals at undesired directions. Multiple parallel delay and some beamforms can be used to independently amplify signals from various directions, as shown in Figure 1. Clearly, the delay and gain settings will vary for different desired directions. We refer to a true time delay based array processors as a multi-antenna system that can be determined, amplify, or attenuate signals for various directions. As such, it functions as a spatial filter for both wideband and narrowband signals. Optimum antenna spacing. In most narrowband phased array implementations, antennas are separated by lambda by 2, and lambda is carrier wavelength. Larger antenna spacing creates side lobes, while smaller antenna spacing increases the required number of transceivers and creates coupling between adjacent antennas that may affect the beam pattern. In spatial diversity antenna arrays, antenna should be spaced for enough to create statistically independent communication channels. Depending on the type, size, and relative location of the scatters in the environment, the required antenna spacing varies from subwavelength of several wavelengths. In the worst mentioning that some antenna arrays with closely spaced elements are used to improve the receiver SNR rather than for either of the two aforementioned reason. This system benefits for the fact that the noise sources is independent parallel paths and builds blocks of the multi-antenna receivers and uncorrelated. In many cases, the choice of element spacing is dictated by the uh, available footprints. Example, in a headset device. The beamwidth of the narrowband system is proportional to the ratio of wavelength of the total appearance size antenna or antenna array. Therefore, if footprint is not a concern, large arrays are preferable in terms of spatial selectivity and beam focusing capability. Antenna elements can also be distributed even randomly over a large aperture for distributed beamforming to improve spatial diversity and or beam focusing. Com- Commercial example where the large footprints is available include wireless base stations and access nodes, high-speed wireless access in notebooks, wireless HD access for televisions, and short-range automotive radars. As mentioned in the previous section, the choice of TTD phase shifter based beamforming is such system depends on the delay associated with the total physical array size, not the element spacing. As the instantaneous signal bandwidth increases and becomes closer for comparable to the carrier frequency, the optimum choice for the antenna spacing becomes less clear. The conventional array pattern found in electromagnetic textbooks are defined and derived assuming sinusoidal time variations for the wave. Effective array patterns have been defined for UWB rays. Another special case where the optimum antenna spacing is not clear is in a wideband frequency hopping arrays. In wireless arrays, where the carrier frequency hops within a large overall bandwidth, such, such as the MD OFDM UWB standard, the instantaneous beam shape also changes rather significantly. This is due to using fixed array antenna spacing and geometry with a charging carrier frequency. In these systems, the strategy may be using lambda minimum of lambda per 2 antenna spacing, and where lambda minimum is corresponding to the minimum carrier wavelength anticipated to avoid unwanted side loops. When the carrier hops to lower frequencies, the antenna spacing will be sub-half wavelength. The overall array size is di- dictated by the required beam width or spatial diversity considerations at the lowest carrier frequency. How to define the array pattern in timed arrays? There is a fundamental difference between the combined signal at the output of a TTD and some beamformers in narrowband and UWB system implementations. In a narrowband systems, where the waveform can be approximated with a sinusoid, the shape of the output waveform is still a sinusoid for all beamformer settings. The array pattern is defined as the amplitude for this combined sinusoid as a function of incidence angle. For signals with an instantaneously wide bandwidth, such as a impulse-based UWB waveform. The shape of the combined signal depends on the delay and some beamformer settings and may not be resemble the initial waveform. Therefore, it is not clear whether the same peak amplitude criteria that was used to define narrow band array patterns can be extended to arrays with instantaneously wide bandwidth. In fact, without knowing the detection method that follows the beamformers in a receiver, a meaningful array pattern cannot be defined. After all, the array pattern only signifies the array spatial selectivity and depends on the direction scheme and a single waveform. Typical impulse-based UWB system use peak directions, power detection, and correlator-based detection and at the back end. Effective array patterns of these cases are shown in figure 2. Conclusion. In the communications field, there is unpredicted speed in transferring the latest useful technologies that are developed in universities and research laboratories to commercial users. It took 38 years for Gordon in 1965 to determine the first monolithic microwave phased array in silicon. Only 4 years later, at the opening keynote address of 2008 International Consumer Electronics Show, Panasonic revealed a wireless 1080p Full HD transmission system using silicon beams (CMOS) phased array chip at 60 GHz. There is no doubt that true-time delay-based UWB beamforming is used for defense and military applications. Imaging and sensing can be the killer commercial applications for TTD-based UWB arrays. Biomedical imaging and short-range vehicle, vehicular radar are just two fa- fascinating examples. Only time will tell whether and will this technology will be adopted by industry for commercial wireless communications, sensing and imaging applications. For researchers in this area, there are still several interesting problems to work on it in the upcoming years. Thank you.